What's going on, guys? It's Bojo692. Coming to you guys over there right now. So, I want to go over this Eagles team. Carson Wentz is going to take us where we need to go. You know, this is where it's going to count the most. Howie Roseman put Carson Wentz in the best position possible to win football games. Carson Wentz is in a perfect position to... Not saying he doesn't have to try, but he has so much around him. It is hard, and I could probably speak to all the Eagles YouTubers and the fans out there, that it is hard not putting this team at the top right now. That this isn't a Super Bowl contending team. This is one of the best rosters I've ever seen. And because so many of these guys are selfless and don't care about their own stats. You have wide receivers that don't care about their own stats, how many catches they get. They don't care. As long as that W is in the win column, it does not matter. You have running backs that don't care if they're sharing carries. You have a quarterback that is such a class act and is so respected by the league and outside of football. You couldn't ask for a more perfect team than what it is now. You can't even put this in another... You can't even make this seem like it's bad because this roster is so good. And it's going to be so exciting. You know, Carson Wentz is 100% healthy now. You know, do I worry? Of course. I know some people were pissed off that he didn't want to get, we shouldn't have paid him now, but you know what? It doesn't matter if we paid him now or paid him next year. Just say he plays well this year and then he got signed next year. Or he got signed at the end of this year and then he gets hurt next year. I mean, regardless, it's a gamble and it doesn't really matter. It's either you pay him now or you pay him next year. Whatever it is. I think right now it was just better because of price. Because of price, it was better. It wasn't expensive. Dak Prescott needs to get signed. Patrick Mahomes needs to get signed. These guys need to get signed. And as of right now, I have full faith in Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz has a deep threat now. Carson Wentz has probably the best duo tight end group in the whole entire league. Carson Wentz has one of the best possession receivers, plus with the new addition to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside from the draft in the second round. Carson Wentz has a 4 running back monster. You just added Jordan Howard training with the Bears, 6th-round conditional pick that could turn into a 5th rounder for a bag of peanuts. One of the best bruiser backs, one of the top red zone running back from last year in the league, on the Philadelphia Eagles. You got Miles Sanders, the big high-cut running back for Penn State, and I'm excited to see him play. He could be the face of this backfield for years to come, and I hope it happens. Corey Clement, undrafted, you know what I mean? Corey Clement, a guy that went undrafted, and look what he's done. He's going to be 100% healthy. He's going into training camp fully loaded. Deuce Staley is happy that he's coming. There's just so much, there's so many pieces right now. And you can't deny it. You know, I don't say the word, I don't say Super Bowl, I don't say anything, but it is hard not to say that this team should automatically be in the Super Bowl this year. The one thing that this team has that no other team has is resiliency, is being resilient. And this team is like this. This team sticks like this all year. No matter how bad the chips may fall, it doesn't matter. This team gels, and when they gel, they don't give up. Malcolm Jenkins he's the leader of this defense that just keeps everybody together. I'm not worried about his contract. I'm not worried about if they'll pay him or not. He deserves it. He's one of the most low-paying safeties in the league. He deserves to get paid a little bit more. I got nothing against that. We have the cap space to do it. The Eagles needed a good draft this year, and I think they drafted pretty well. Other than Clayton Thornton, really, I think they drafted pretty damn good this year. But there's still analysts out there that are taking us off the list. They're putting teams like the Browns up there when they haven't played a game yet. They're putting the Bears up there, which the Bears are good, but could Mitch Trubisky bring them to the Super Bowl? You got uprising teams like the Indianapolis Colts, the LA Chargers. You got black horse teams that are finally playing well. The Eagles didn't win the East last year. They made it to the wild card round. We made it to the wild card round. And we got lucky. The Bears did us a favor. They beat the Vikings, and we got our game in the wild card round. Made the divisional playoff round. Lost to the Saints. And we had more injuries on top of that. We had 13 to 15 players on IR last year. Double, almost triple injuries than what we had the Super Bowl year. Almost triple of injuries. Guys out for the whole year. How can you not be so confident that this team is... How can someone say that this team is not going to do anything this year? Not only you have all these positions, but you have Carson Wentz on top of everything else that can extend plays. The play's never dead when he's on his feet scrambling around. The whole league doesn't want Carson Wentz to be back to his natural form. The whole league wants to believe that he's injury prone. The whole league just doesn't want him back. And he's going to come back and he's going to rip it. I already know it's going to happen. Okay? 2017, I told you guys before, when the offseason was there in 2017, I said, you guys need to stop worrying about it. This is a very, very good team. And trust me, when I started my YouTube channel in 2016 and we were 7-9, I told you I said a lot of bad things about this team when it was happening. And I don't hide anything. I say it like it is. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. I have an opinion, you have an opinion, that's it. You bring Deshaun Jackson home. Back home where he belongs, okay? Hasn't been on this team since 2013. Been away for 5 years. Shouldn't have been away for 5 years. He's back. And every time a player comes back to this damn team, there's always an excuse. He's too old. He doesn't have it anymore. This is the best defensive line I've ever seen. Starting and depth behind it. Offensive line, starting and depth behind it. Running backs, starting plus depth. Not even just the 4 running backs that you do have, but you have Boston Scott. That's even in the background behind as a 5th guy if needed. Doug Peterson is going to have so much to use. So many different play calls. So many matchups. Opposing teams better hope they don't have a bad corner. They better hope they don't have a bad linebacker, because I'm telling you right now, this team is going to look for every open space for any of these players, and it's not even fair. It's not even fair. At this point, no. I'm not even feeling worried. I'm feeling confident that this team is going to go far this year. That's the truth. Maybe I'm not so happy about Joe Douglas going, but Howie Roseman says we're deep in the scouting department. We're very, very deep. We have very good scouts. I believe him. Am I happy Mike Rowe is the offensive coordinator? Probably not, but maybe things will change this year. Wasn't happy with Mike Rowe moving up to the OC position. I was hoping maybe Deuce Staley would. But I like Deuce Staley as a running back coach, so whatever. Howie Roseman did so much this offseason. We were last place in cap space. The last team. We were at the end of the year of the season, we were 6 million or 7 million over the cap, whatever it was. And then within the third month of the offseason, we were like 10th, 11th in cap space. Getting Deshaun Jackson, getting Malik Jackson on the defensive line, getting Malik Jackson that was benched, that has a chip on his shoulder. This whole defense has a chip on their shoulder. Come on. Crazy. You signed Brandon Graham to a big deal, which I didn't expect at all. But happy that it happened, because if we lost Brandon Graham, there'd be no defensive ends left because everyone was pretty much franchise tagged. We get Zach Brown. We get LJ Fort. We pretty much stabilize linebacker. I think we still need a really, really, really good coverage linebacker. But for right now, I think this is a lot better than what we had at the beginning of end of last year. Jordan Hicks got his money in Arizona. Jordan Matthews left to go to the 49ers, which he deserved. He deserved to get some money. What can I say? I'm not worried. This team is going to go into the opener versus the Redskins, and they are going to whoop some ass. They are going to go do it. There's not really one position that I am really doubtful of. And everyone is talking about the corner position. We have average to above average corners. We don't have shutdown corners. We have corners that are good enough. That's why the rest of the fan base or opposing fans don't understand that the Eagles are building off of the defensive line. We build the defensive line. You can't afford to get shutdown corners and build a whole defensive line with depth behind it. It's impossible. Jim Schwartz is using corners with safety background, safety with corner background, nickels that can play outside that can play nickels that played safety and it doesn't matter. If there's an injury, someone needs to go out for a few plays, miss a game or two, you won't have to worry. And that's why this defense is so good. So it's all about communication. The Eagles have good communication defense, and that's what they do. So I'm very happy with what has happened. I just can't wait for training camp to start on the 25th, and I can't wait till these preseason games start because I want to see I want to see how this preseason goes. They need to do good in preseason. They need to score touchdowns in preseason. They need to look good because last year they looked horrible in preseason, and it came to the normal season. It transferred into the normal season, and it looked horrible. There's so much talent on this team that it's impossible to even think they're going to play bad. It's just impossible to think that. And I can't wait until Carson Wentz shows everybody what's up. So that's my rant on the Philadelphia Eagles going to this year and what I've thought about so far before training camp has come. Before it comes in a couple weeks. Hope you're excited. This is going to be a hell of a ride this year. Howie Roseman has put Carson Wentz in the best position possible. Now all Carson Wentz got to do is just play football. He's our franchise quarterback. He's comfortable. You don't have to look over his shoulder. Nick Foles ain't there anymore. Thank God it's done. He's not here anymore. I'm not a Foles hater. Love Nick Foles, but guy needs to have his own team. That's it. So I'll see you guys later. Shakes, what up? Fly, Fly.